True copies of war times. We are now up to part 7 of Malachi York letters. All right. So we just came out of the Book of Revelations being actually a remixed version of the vision of Narada and Vishnu and the Mahabharata and all of that stuff. And we've seen that the Book of Revelation is just, like I said, a more edited version of a prediction before the Caucasian actually came. All right, so you just check video 6 and get caught up on all that good shit. Right. So let's move forward. All right, now we can get back to the language question Mr. Your Ex, My Ex, and Sabiism. So when we go back to the beginning, this is what he was asking her, all right? So he said, Zupu and note word Sabiism as being a part of the science Noon. Sabiism now look back at Sabian, an extinct Semitic language once spoken in Saba, the Bible Sheba in southern Arabia, originally called Arubu, where Yoruba comes in. Check it out, don't believe me. So York was citing certain parts of the nature book, and he added the rest when it goes into Sabian, spelled Sabean. All right, and then he tried to connect it to Saba, which goes to the biblical word Sheba and all that other stuff. All right, so let's deal with that. We should deal with Sabiism first. York is quoting the nature books as we read earlier. Now, according to one of York's drug-addicted followers, claims Sabiism is only 6,000 years old. He has the books but is still stupid and doesn't comprehend in order to know how old Sabiism is, and how to date it is by reading it and finding the quotes on the answer. Since he has 40 questions on books he know York can answer, we will help out the mental dead. All right, so we're gonna explain, because again, they think that they know what this word means and where it goes back to. And listening to York took Sabaism and ran the biblical religious Arabic route as usual, which we keep telling you, York is possessed by sixth ether Melchizedek. But we're going to go into that a whole lot more. All right? So let's read from the nature book to show you that York is nothing but a plagiarizer and a thief. Right? He said, listen to reason. This afternoon, in nature science, universe, and creation philosophy is classified into 4 main categories. Namely, Noon, Nupa Noon, pronounced Nopo Noon, pantheism, and religion, respectfully, meaning in the order given. The top half of the smack singular order is the domain of Nupu, pronounced Nupu, and Noon, pronounced Noon, and the bottom half of the same circle of order is the domain Zupu, pronounced Zupu, and pantheism, as stated previously in this presentation. Everything evolves, including peoples, languages, gods, goddesses, philosophies, and universes. Religion is the last evolutionary phase of pantheism. Nature Book 1, page 114. Out of Nupa Noon does evolve Noon. Out of Noon evolves pantheism. Out of pantheism evolves religion. And out of religion revolves Noon. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Nature Book 2, page 233. Now, if we start from 3 south, Sabaism going backwards, and we talking about from February 5th, 1962, was 6,000 years ago. Today, going back would be 6,064 years ago. So from February 5th, 1962 going back, it was 6,000 years ago. Before the beginning of the moon cycle, where we are now at 3 South going to 6 East, Noon revolves out of religion. 1962 to 1973. First books written by Afro Uno are You Searching for Knowledge, Then Please Read Me, and Moonset and Sunrise and the Nature of Nature. Afro Uno released those 2 books in 1973 according to his obituary. So you get down here, it tells you right here, say in 1973, John A. published his first writings, Are You Searching for Knowledge? If so, please read me, Moonset and Sunrise and the Nature of Nature. All right? This will make 8 books in all when you add in the Bible interpretation, the explanations, books 1 and 2, and the 4 noun-ball counts, that's 6, written in 1971 and 1972. And let's not forget that Mr. York finally admitted in his book, The Harvest, that Afro Uno brought Nawapu. All right, and this is in The Harvest. I have to continuously bring this up so people who are being tricked and suckered into the coat of York, them can see that they've been lying for many decades. All right, he said they knew about Nawapu of Afro Uno. He was one, yet did not have all the answers in his teachings, nor a language. He also knew about Dr. Ben. He was one, yet he also did not have a complete doctrine. Again, Dr. Ben didn't teach religion as a person that's in a religion teaching religion. That's when you use the word doctrine. All right, Dr. Ben was a historian.
The first non-African people came to Egypt, otherwise called the Hyksos, in 1675 BC. The Africans there were already in the 13th dynasty period. They had built every pyramid you saw there before. They had done the S-turn in the Nile. They built every one of the major temples that had already been built, including the Grand Lodge of Luxor. The first European to come there did not arrive until the Greeks arrived with Alexander II, the son of Philip of Macedonia.
Look, I'm a college graduate. I never heard all this stuff before.
Because they didn't intend to teach you that. They can't tell you that you're inferior and teach you that you taught Europe. The first Europeans to be civilized by the Africans were the Greeks. When you heard of Homer, the first European to have written anything, you couldn't miss that. They said that Homer wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. And that was not until 833 BC.
He was not a religious teacher. So that's another lie. Same thing with Afro Uno. Afro Uno did not teach religion. He taught about it, and they broke down the metaphysicals of it and the spirit forces and all of that. York is a religious teacher. All right, pretending to be a doctor of sciences. He's not, he's a liar. All right, Sabians, Nawabians even had his picture in their Brooklyn temple after years of denial and accusations of his existence, to then saying he was a student of Mr. York. This is going on between 2014 and 2018. Even now to this day, certain slaves of Dr. York is still trying to make Afro Uno a student of York. This has been debunked many a times. All right, so here is the picture of Afro Uno from his obituary. To the right, you can see they put the same picture of Afro Uno in the Brooklyn temple. I don't know if it's still there, but this is a picture from inside. All right, it's an up close picture. All right. Let's go to the video real quick. It's 1 minute and 47 seconds. Let's do that. To 2:38. 1 minute and 47 seconds.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, thank you. It's big. He's going to put his picture right there.
So y'all can see Afro Uno's picture up there. And I think there's Dr. Ben next to him. Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Martin Luther King. I don't recognize the other brother here, but I see Elijah Muhammad, Nelson Selassie. 5%, Class 13X, Father God of Law, Marcus Garvey, and Nova Drew Ali.
Yep, this picture's here.
So y'all can see that the Afro-News picture. My wife did this video 8 years ago, June 8th, 2018. So again, York gave Afro-Unu credit for bringing the WAPU after lying and lying and lying. So it's over for that. All right. So Charles and the rest of these clowns, I keep asking them. You want to ask? You talking about ask Zuni Boos the questions of no? Why don't you deal with this right here? Why did your master give credit to Afro-Unu? That's what y'all need to do. Y'all have not done that yet. None of you Negroes have came online and apologized for the slander, and you should have abandoned York after all of the stuff we've been showing y'all. But this is the biggest one after lying that he brought the WAPU, which is a lie. All right, so let's move forward. All right, out of Nupanun does evolve Noon. Out of Noon evolves pantheism. Out of pantheism evolves religion, and out of religion evolves Noon. Let it be remembered always, and let it be known. What this means from the above quoted is Sabiism, more on this later, always been a part of Noon around the Smat circle. Sabaism means true star worship or admiration of the true stars. Now, in the beginning of the nature book says this: in the beginning were the sons, and the sons are with nature, and the sons are nature, and the sons, the true stars, are the gods who grew absolute nature into universe order. This means the sons always had honor, respect in the top half, and then it turned into worship in the bottom half. York not being born with 9 mind, Newport's Afro-Unu stated, and I quote, "Sound right reason is the birth and beginning of 9 reason Newport, again everywhere in the universe of nature, and is thereby an infant growing and developing, but born a mental giant, and this mental giant teaches Afro-Unu, the writer of this book, the biography of absolute almighty nature. Sound right reason Nupu, the first phase of 9 reason Nupu, was also born in the mind of Afro-Unu at Unu's birth, all right? And that's in 1926. By way of eternal nature, let it be remembered always and let it be known. Introduction to the Nature, Book 3, page 3. York did not equal stand what Sabiism was and how Afro-Unu was applying it. Sabaism is a part of the science Noon. York's research took him to Sabians who were religious and, of course, in 2 books of the dead. In the Bible, Job 1:15, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yes, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell you. So this is coming about Job. In the book of Job, it talks about the Sabians as part of this bet between Satan and God to see if Job would curse God. He allowed all these things to happen to him. So Job was killed by Sabians. And this is who York is naming his code after. A group of people that participated in killing a prophet's family and causing all types of harm. Make that make sense. In the Quran 262, indeed the believers, Jews, Christians, and Sabians, whoever truly believes in Allah and the last day does good will have their reward with their Lord, and there will be no fear for them, nor will they grieve. Again, religion. We already told y'all. The 9 ball specifically states that religion is a spell. You cannot get away from Arabic, and you Negroes are still religious. Mr. York took the word Sabiist, right? Because King Rehoboam, Ethiopian helpers, was referred to as Sabius. So York took the word Sabius and Sabiism and connected it to Sabian, and then renamed his flesh-worshiping cult Sabians. Mr. York was reading the nature books in prison, trying to find a way to rebrand his cult. He was low-key trying to assume Afro Unu's second name like York did with Amenubi Rakapata. All right? So let's go back to a post I did in our group, May 2nd, 2021. I say they consistently lie and say, did York go by that name? And then put a name in there as one of York's names up to date, talking about that book, Man of Many Faces. Not only that, Sabians and misnomer Nawabians are still misusing Afro Unu's information up to date, but still call him the real author Afro Unu when the nature books are still in existence. Then after getting exposed, finally have to tell the truth. LOL. Why do I have to debate a topic we already won and York is the one that helped us do so? What am I missing here? We debated since 2014 and won every one with evidence. It's pointless. Address why York released a Harvard book giving credit to Afro Unu finally. All right, so we've been on this and we still haven't heard no one to this day. This is the Man of the Many Faces. All right, a book that was put out that was horrible research because of Adafa Nimrod, Amun Nicole L, and Olun Femi Olatula gave Mr. Yovan Christian a bad book reputation because he relied on these followers of York to give him information that wasn't true. So in the back of the book, it says, it is for these reasons above all else that we have decided to conduct an objective examination into the life and teaching of Dr. Malachi Z. York, founder and spiritual leader of the United Nawabi Nation of Moors. Again, York is not the founder of anything. All right, he took the word Nawapu, turned it into Nawapian for a group, and created a cult, and then threw the Moors on that. Although many black leaders and organizations have attempted to address the issue of an authentic African-centered belief system, none have done it with anywhere near the same success as Malachi York, known throughout his 35-year ministry. See, look, they use the words that's religious ministry. See, this is religion. Blah, plethora of different names and titles which have included. So York was only considered great because York was able to masterfully take other people's information and blend it in and add things in it. That's what made him a success at being the most successful deceiver out of everybody we had. So all these different names he was using, but the one we want to focus on is Afro Unu, misspelled, up under the name Rabona Yashu Ba'ed. Again, this is York followers put this book out in 2010 with Afro Unu's name in here. At this time, I didn't know there was a difference. I thought York was Afro Unu from 2008 till about 2013 when we sat down with Royal once Anup had found the bookstore, the Brooklyn bookstore, and Royal gave us the difference between those two and that he had been doing business with Afro Unu for 15 years, which we have that document. All right, so this is giving y'all evidence because a lot of y'all are mentally dead and don't do no research. Y'all just believe folks because they got a presence. Because York been around and you got all these books, y'all don't know a lot of those books are plagiarized and not citing proper sources. So of course, we look like we the haters and we don't know what's going on because we are not following the same black print that York followed. All right, so here he tried to justify Sabianism as if it was connected to Queen Sheba in Southern Arabia. The mistakes York made according to AI and linguistics is called folk etymology. People make a connection because words sound similar or look similar, even if the historical origins are different.
Do you know why we say checkmate? This is folk etymology part 2. Checkmate comes from the Persian shamat, and shamat means the king is dead. And this expression was translated firstly to French, and then it continued to be mispronounced, and this is how folk etymology works. We always try to find words that we recognize. So that's why shamat was changed into checkmate, which are two words in English, but together don't really mean anything. But they sounded like the original word, and that's how it became checkmate. And the word chess itself comes from the word shah in Persian.
False cognates, accidental similarity, words from different language groups that resemble each other by coincidence rather than shared ancestry.
Hey guys, let's talk about false friends. These are also called false cognates. And what that means is a word that's very similar in two languages but does not mean the same thing. So here's an example. Advertisement, the word in English. In French, there's a word avertissement, which looks so much like advertisement. This messed me up recently, where I was saying avertissement, meaning advertisement, but it actually means warning, a warning. So I was saying, oh, I saw a really interesting warning that made me want to buy something. That doesn't make sense. Let us know in the comments, what is a false cognate, a false friend that you've noticed between your language and English? Share it in the comments. Let's share so that we don't make the mistakes that happen really often with these false friends. And be sure to follow here for lots of great lessons in English.
More generally, there's also etymological fallacy, assuming that similarity in spelling pronunciation proves a relationship. In your case, linking Saba, this is the AI talking, linking Saba with Sheba to Sabiun or Sabians by similar sound can be exactly what that kind of folk etymology, accidental similarity, unless a solid historical linguistic pathway is shown, same root documented, borrowing consistent sound changes across time. Now, I said, let me show you how ignorant to Sabianism York truly was and is, and has trapped this dumb cult in another religious Arab culture.
Let's go here. Let's go here about the priests and the liberators, right? The 7-to-2 ratio gradually becomes 2-to-7, coming downward counterclockwise on the left side of the circle of order, which is smack, and the 2-to-7 ratio slowly becomes 7-to-2, going upward on the right side of the circle, the smack circle of order. In the top half of the circle, the people, gods, and goddesses have a natural born leader from each origin group. Okay, that's the pygmy gods and goddesses spoken about on the right side of the smack circle of order, but they do not need any priest because everyone naturally knows right from wrong and adheres to right. But in the bottom half of the same circle, the natural leader needs to be a priest. He needs to be a priest. It didn't say liberator. It said he needs to be a priest first, as well as a leader or a liberator. Because the people have to constantly be reminded what's right from wrong, be reminded what right from wrong is, and persuaded to do what's right. And this is why there was an odd person, number 27, among the number 27 origin groups of the Phoenicians. And so, was it incorrect for Dr. Malachi Z. York to take on the name Melchizedek? If Melchizedek put the Son of Man in the manifestation of the Son of God in his order, Jesus Christ, y'all don't bring up this Melchizedek and the flower of life. What is his purpose on the planet? Because he also has the name of Melchizedek in the Bible that put Jesus Christ in the order, the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek.
Like the sixth ether Melchizedek spirit that he has. So this is the spirit right here where York was using the name and possessed by Melchizedek, aka Murdoch. All right, the BIAE says, written by Afro, the original Sumerians who originally created the laws were African pygmies. Hammurabi was Bodine, and the Bodine were a branch of the who? Phoenician people. Hammurabi, Melchizedek, was an incarnation of the sun god Marduk, sometimes called Annual Arion. BIAE Book 1, number 27. Nowhere is it written in the Bible Interpretation 1 and 2 booklets, or the 9 ball counts 1 through 4, nor the nature books does it tell you to name yourselves after spirit beings, especially the fact that they are 6 ether and lower at this time, especially these type of rulers. All right, but we're going to get into that later. I have to take y'all through here so y'all can understand, because y'all are mesmerized by logos. All right, look what it says. 6 ether, whose science is pantheism, and 6 ether is known today as Leviathan, Jesus, Noah, Zeus, Lord, Baal, Jupiter, Vishnu, Ra, Sol, Molech, and who? Marduk, Baal, and Elyon. Bible Interpretation Book 11 in part. Once again, York is clearly documented himself as a 6 ether spirit in flesh, and told you dumb Negroes he's from another planet. This is what 6 ether does. 6 ether lies. This is what it does. It tells you wonderful lies. All right, let's continue. Everything that is invisible on planet Earth has a visible counterpart somewhere on this planet. The name Noel, as in the Christmas Carol, means Noah is Elyon, Elo, or Elohim. Elyon, Elo, or Elohim is Jesus, and Jesus is 6 ether, the forces of evolution. Jesus, who has many names such as what? Elyon, Marduk, Molech, Jesus, Jupiter, Ra, Hamakis, etc., was the god of the who? The Phoenicians, and the Phoenicians are Arabs. Once again, Sabians run into South Arabia, Sheba, and all of that. This is what York chose to call you dummies. You kinky head individuals are not Arabs, but York has caught y'all in the 6 ether foolishness. Mr. York taught us to worship 6 ether names that are mentioned up above, especially Elohim and Elo and El, etc. You can go online right now and pull up a couple of videos York did when he was upstate in New York in '92, called the Elohim tapes. Once again, nowhere in the Bible interpretation, 9 or the nature books tells us to do these things. Again, look in the video. Look, Arabic, Bismillah, Rahman, all of this. Begin all things with the lesser names of Allah. This is 6 ether. And you wonder why y'all are still running around caught in this whirlwind of endless cycling with York. Look what the nature book say. In ancient times, Allah was also known by names like Shamash, and again, Eli, chief god of what? The Phoenicians. Baal, look, Marduk, Ra, Re, Amen, Ra, Danbala, Brahma, Zeus, Jupiter, Ta, Uranus, Molech, Lord, etc. Eli, Elyon, Marduk was the god of Melchizedek. So now we have it here. So York is confused because Murdoch is the god of Melchizedek. So this is basically saying he's the god of himself. Slap yourselves. Harder. Give me my phone. The god of Melchizedek, who it is written, met and also blessed Abraham of the Caucasian Old Testament Bible. Melchizedek was a Phoenician Arab, originally, let it be remembered, always let it be known. Nature Book 1, page 84, part. Mr. York is possessed by the same 6 ether spirit Leviathan forces that Hammurabi was, when the Jews took his story then called Hammurabi Melchizedek. All right, Anouk Bunu Nupu and myself did 2 master classes on King Hammurabi Melchizedek, and Zimri-Lim, Abram or Abraham, both renamed by the Jews when compiling the so-called Torah or the Old Testament. If you go to my YouTube and look up the two videos on it, one is called Melchizedek, Hammurabi, Abraham, Zimri-Lim, in Genesis chapter 14. The other one is Melchizedek was Hammurabi and Abraham was Zimri-Lim, breaking and destroying the history. All right, so your not knowing is why he was using the Old Testament and New Testament ideas of Melchizedek, because they don't know that these were actually real people, a Babylonian and a Mesopotamian king. All right, not only does this destroy the lives of the Torah, it also destroyed the lives of the New Testament and Islam, and Mr. York's version of Abraham. Also changed the so-called Jesus in the order of Melchizedek and the false giving of 10% tithing Christians give.
And so, was it incorrect for Dr. Malachi Z. York to take on the name Melchizedek? If Melchizedek put the Son of Man in the manifestation of the Son of God in his order.
This is a picture that York had drew of Abraham. There's no such thing. Why? Because Zimri-Lim was Mesopotamian ruler 1775 to 1760 BCE, and he was not from Ur of Chaldea, which is about 640 to 700 miles away. King Hammurabi was born in Babylon, Iraq today. We're 200 miles from King Zimri-Lim. The reason Hammurabi was called Melchizedek because the Jews use his story in the Jupiter, which Noon supports. All right, they use Jupiter, and which we finna go into that. I asked Claude AI to back this up. Does Melchizedek and Hammurabi have similar meanings to king of righteousness and Jupiter is my king? AI said no. Melchizedek means king of righteousness, but Hammurabi does not mean Jupiter is my king. All right? And this is what he used with Malachi. Actually, is a part of this too. That's another term for Hammurabi. The actual definition, etymology, and the origin of the linguistic misconception break down as follows. Melchizedek, the name Melchizedek is in ancient Hebrew. Melchizedek breaks down into two distinct Semitic roots. Therefore, the canonical translation of Melchizedek is king of righteousness, explicitly stated in the New Testament in Hebrews 7:2. Hammurabi, the name Hammurabi is not Babylonian. It's an Amorite name, Amurapi, belonging to an extinct Northwest Semitic language. It breaks down to Amu means paternal kinsman or family. Rapi means healer or restorer. Therefore, the literal meaning of Hammurabi is the kinsman is a healer or the family is restored. There's no connection to kingship or the planet god Jupiter in its original language. Where did Jupiter's my king come from? The idea comes from that one of these names means Jupiter's my king. Comes from a mix-up of astrological association rather than literal transliteration. The Sedek-Jupiter connection in ancient Jewish astrology, the Hebrew astronomy, the planet Jupiter is named to Sedek, righteous because it was seen as a planetary symbol of justice, equity, and order. The linguistic twist because Sedek means righteousness and is also the Hebrew name for Jupiter. A literist but alternative reading of Melchizedek can technically be stretched to mean my king is Jupiter. The confusion with Hammurabi is famous for his legal code, which he claimed was given to him by Shamash, the sun god of justice, but Babylon's chief patron deity was Marduk, who was also astronomically associated with the planet Jupiter. Over time, alternative history articles have conflated Melchizedek linguistic association with Jupiter, which means to Sedek, and Hammurabi political association with Jupiter, Marduk, mistakenly applying the meaning to Hammurabi. So according to this means Mr. York had no understanding of their cultures or languages of Hammurabi, Akkadian, or the Hebrew astrology system because he called himself Marduk as another name for Melchizedek. All right, this will conclude part 7. We'll be back with part 8. True Mental Cosmic Peace Particles of Wartime.